4. Alright, hey everyone, Mike Heading here, coming to you today with the tune Billy in the Lowground, a classic fiddle tune in the key of C. We're going to work on playing this tune without retuning the banjo at all. We're still in open G, and I really like trying to work on playing tunes in different keys out of open G, because the less tuning we got to do, the better. So we're going to work on a note-for-note melodic break that will work really good with playing with a fiddle or a mandolin, and I'm going to show you some tips for the backup, and I'm going to break down the whole tune note for note, and as well break down the melodic C major scale that we're going to need to play this tune. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to wrap our thumb around and start playing some notes on the fifth string with our thumb, which is a really common thing in melodic banjo playing, but if you're a beginner or an intermediate, it could be a new technique for you. So it's really going to open up some doors, and you're going to explore some new possibilities on the banjo. Alright, so before we break down Billy in the Lowground, the A part to Billy in the Lowground, let's go over the melodic C major scale, because that's the scale that we're going to use for this song, and that's where all of our notes are going to come from. So let's first break that down, and it'll make the tune a lot easier to understand. Okay, so again, with melodic playing, we're going to have to change strings a lot, and so let me show you the easiest way to do this. So we're going to start on the 5th fret of the 3rd string. And I use my second finger when I'm playing the major scale, and we might have to change it a little bit for Billy in the Lowground. But first, let me show you what the notes are. So you're going to start with your 5th fret on the 3rd string. That's a C, so that's our first note. Then we're going to hit the open 1st string. So let me play the whole scale first, and then I'll break it down note by note. Okay, so we're gonna have to use a couple fingers. We're gonna have to move around a little bit, because on banjo to get, we can't go this way as much. We got to go up and down to get to more notes. Okay, so we're starting with the fifth fret of the 3rd string, then hit an open 1st string, and then I use my 3rd finger to hit the 5th fret of the 2nd string, and I'm using my middle or thumb of my right hand to start it, and then middle. And then I'm using my index of my right hand, and then back to the 3rd fret of the 1st string, so a little bit of a reach there. So you're going to hit the middle, and then hit the 5th string open. So let me play those. That's the first 5 notes of the scale, so let me play that. I mean, you could even just practice that on its own and just go backwards. Again, you're really that's good practice for your roll. It's not really a roll. Again, in melodic playing, you just have to play with whatever fingers you need to get the notes out. So again, you can kind of keep all these down because we're using our open strings. Okay, so let me play the last 3 notes. So you're going to go. And then when you hit that 5th string, you're going to start traveling up. You're going to go all the way up to the 10th fret of the 2nd string, and you're going to go into this kind of position up here, and you're going to use your 2nd finger on the 10th fret and your 1st finger on the 9th fret. So that open 5th string, you're going to have to use that as your friend again to really get you up there. So you're going all the way from the 5th frets all the way up to the 9th and 10th frets. So let me play it one more time. And then I'm sliding up, and then I'm hitting my index of my right hand, 2nd string, middle, 1st string, and then I'm wrapping my thumb around, which might be a new technique for you, and then grabbing that 5th string, and you're going to have to fret that. So again, you have to kind of bring your hand up a little bit and it might take you a little time to get a little bit of a callus to kind of fret that fifth string. And every banjo is a little bit different, so there's not only, you know, one way to do that. Depends on, it might be easier on some banjos than others. But you really have to kind of wrap your finger around, and you know, I'm not using the top part of my thumb to get that. It's almost down here, almost by my knuckle, and just takes a little bit of practice. If you have a railroad spike there, it's a little bit trickier, but I got one. But I can still, again, you just have to squeeze it in, and it's just practicing it a bunch of times. So let me play that whole thing again. So once you get up there, then you can go backwards. So let me just, I'll play that a few times. Again, another thing you can practice, just take one of those positions and just do some different rolls and see what kind of sounds you can come up with. You know, again, because all those notes are within the scale, so they're all pretty safe. And that's where you can, a lot of these licks and positions are going to come from. We're not just running straight up and down the scale, but those are our potential notes we're going to use. So I would go over that first before you try and tackle this tune and kind of get that position of, because we're going to have to transfer them back and forth between those positions, so that if that feels new to you, that's what I would work on first, okay? Alright, so here's the A part to Billy in the Lowground. And on this one, you really got to follow the tab really closely with both the right hand and the left hand. Again, it's going to make it, I think it's going to be the difference between success and failure. If you start mixing up the fingers on your left hand and the right hand rolls, again, it's going to make it from a intermediate tune to an advanced tune or almost an impossible tune, because, again, these shifts, you know, we got to use our open strings at the right time and use our correct fingers. Otherwise, we're going to get tripped up and you know, it's not going to flow like we want it to. Okay, so really follow the tab closely, and I've got the right hand fingerings on the bottom and the left hand fingerings on the top. And if you see a T on the top, that means you're going to wrap your thumb around on the fifth string. So we're going to have to use that a little bit in this song. So that might be new to you, and this will be a great song to practice that on. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to start with the pickup notes. We're going to start with an open on the third string. We're going to use a 7th fret on the 4th string, and then an open 2nd string. And I'm doing an index, thumb, index. It's not really a roll again with our right hand, so we're going. So it's kind of 3 notes. We're going, and again, there's a little bit offbeat, so we're going 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So you kind of pick up on the offbeat there. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So I'm using my 3rd finger there on my right, or my left hand, excuse me, and then that'll get us into position to do this next roll. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I'm going to put my 1st finger of my left hand down on the 5th fret, and I'm going to do a T, I, T, M roll. So it'll sound like this. I'm doing 3rd string, 2nd string, back to the 3rd string, and then 5th string. And then I'm hitting the index with my right hand, and I'm putting down my 2nd finger of my left hand on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. And then I'm hitting the 5th string, open, and then I'm traveling all the way up to 9 and 10, so that's kind of our other 2nd position. So let me play that whole part. Again, it's probably easier to play than explain, so here we go. I'll skip the pickup for now, and I'll add that later just to show you. So this is the measure 1 of the A part. Again, you got to use that 5th string as your travel, you know, use that as your friend to travel. It's a couple more times, a little faster. One more time. You can keep this 5th fret down as long as you can. That'll help you get a little bit of a tone. Hit the 5th string and start traveling. You got to move quick. So I'm up to the 10 and 9, and I'm doing a kind of a forward roll at the end there. So thumb on the 5th string. Okay, so then measure 2. I'm wrapping my thumb around, and I'm doing a middle, thumb, middle. So let me play that, and then I'll break it down. Okay, so we're starting with our thumb wrapped, and we're doing back and forth, thumb, middle. Keep all these ones down. And then I'm reaching my pinky all the way up to the 12th fret, so this might be a big stretch for you, but keep your wrist out enough that you're not going back like this, otherwise you're going to mute everything. So keep everything out, and you're going to reach your pinky all the way up to the 12th fret. So you're doing thumb, middle on your right hand, out 5th and 1st string. Back to the thumb, take your pinky off, back to the 9th fret, then you go backwards. And again, this one's down the whole time. So let me play those two measures together. Again, I think it's easier to play than explain. So we're going to travel up there. Wrap your thumb around. Pinky. And really refer to the tab on this one. Let me play it a couple more times. So I'll do it with the pickup this time. So again, we're using a combination of kind of rolls and just whatever we need to do to get that melody out. So, you know, we're not necessarily doing traditional Scruggs rolls here. So this might be a new step for you. But again, refer to the right hand at the bottom. Okay, so now we're keeping this 10 and 9 down, and we're doing an index, middle, index on the 2nd and 1st string. So this is measure 3. So we're going to an A minor there. So. And then we hit the 5th string, and then you're going to move your 1st finger all the way down to the 3rd string, 9th fret, and then back to the 5th string, and then back up to the 10 and 9 on the 1st string. Then we're going to wrap our thumb around again, 10 on the 5th string, and then go backwards, middle, index, and then open 5th string. And we're all the way back down to here, 5th fret. So you slide your 2nd finger back down to the 5th fret and hit that with your index. And then we do 3 open, and then we go open, thumb, index, middle on the top 3 strings, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let me play that A minor lick by itself, and then I'll play all 4 of those measures together. So the A minor lick is... Wrap your thumb around. Use the 5th string to get you back down. Okay, so let me play that whole first 4 measures, because we're going to use that lick a few times. So it sounds like this. Travel up. Wrap your thumb. Take your pinky off. Open. Okay, a few more times. Again, we're doing a lot of moving here. So you kind of have to look ahead and really kind of plan your moves and almost move a little quicker than you need to, or exaggerate if you need to get yourself moving. Again, you got to look ahead. Otherwise, by the time you realize you got to move, it's probably too late. So a couple more times. Let me play those 4 measures.